next thing, which I'm asking the 41st, their group is going to unveil the stone of Frederick Erwin, and then Junior Bitikofer, who's on our committee, is going to read the bio for Frederick Erwin, and then we'll do the same thing for Noe Webster Yoder. So Junior, if you want to come forward, and ma'am, you can go ahead and unveil Frederick Erwin. Thank you.
Frederick Erwin was born on 23rd of February 1800 in York County, Pennsylvania. He was the son of Irish immigrant Patrick Erwin, born 1761 and passed 1822, and Julianne Julie Wintermeyer Erwin, born 1764, passed 1843. Both of Julie's parents were born in Germany. Frederick was the 8th of 14 children. He had 11 brothers and 2 sisters. He was actually the second son of Patrick and Julie to be named Frederick. He had a brother, Frederick Erwin, born 1793, born 1800, and died just before the second Frederick was born. It was a common practice in that time to use the name of a child that had passed away. Frederick moved to Tuscarawas County sometime prior to 10 June 1826, as that was the date he married his 15-year-old Christine Noel, who was born in 1811 and passed in 1873. Her parents, Nicholas Noel, born 1765 and passed in 1829, and Mary Elizabeth Pollock Noel, born 1764, passed 1851, had moved to Tuscarawas County from Pennsylvania sometime between the year 1814 and 1820. Frederick's wife, Christine, was born in Somerset County, Pennsylvania, but her family had lived in York County, Pennsylvania prior to that, so it is very possible that the families knew each other back in York County, Pennsylvania. Nicholas and Mary Elizabeth Noel are buried in the Shanesville First Reformed Cemetery near Frederick and Christine. Frederick and Christine had 4 children, 2 sons, William and George, and 2 daughters, Agnes and Sarah. In 1861, when the Civil War broke out, Frederick heeded the call to join the Union Army. He enlisted in Company G of the 51st Ohio Volunteer Infantry, which was composed of men primarily from the Shanesville in Tuscarawas County and the nearby villages of Berlin and Walnut Creek in Holmes County. Company G was known as the Shanesville Blues. His enlistment date was listed as 19 September 1861. He and the regiment began drilling at Camp Meigs in Dover, which is near the Tuscarawas County Fairgrounds, and departed for the South in early November. Being born in 1800, Frederick was 61 years old, and he was the second oldest man to enlist in the regiment, just 2 years younger than Hiram Mosina, who had also volunteered. The regiment spent about 6 weeks at Camp Wickliffe in LaRue County, Kentucky, which was in January and February of 1862. The weather conditions during that year were harsh, and a significant number of the men who were in that regiment passed away. The 51st OVI were part of the initial occupation of Nashville, Tennessee, arriving on the 25th of February in 1862. The regiment was assigned provost duty, which was the police duty at that time, and remained in this role until July of 1862. Frederick served 8 months in the regiment, receiving his discharge on the 22nd of May in 1862. He was discharged on a surgeon's certificate of disability, which likely was related to his advanced age because he was too old then for military service. Frederick died on 6 June 1872 at the age of 72 years in Tuscarawas County, and is buried in the Shanesville First Reformed Cemetery. Thank you.
Thank you. I want to thank Junior for filling in. I do want to briefly say your program says Trent Johnson, and Trent Johnson is from College Grove, Tennessee, which is south of Nashville. Trent actually brought our attention to Frederick Ervin. He has a website, if you're on, and it's called 51st OBI. He posts every day a blog, and he's been doing that for 20-some years. Very knowledgeable on the unit. He had planned to be here, but because of work commitments could not be here. Actually, last Friday night, he sent me the biography and said, could you get somebody in our group? And Junior graciously offered to read that today. So if you were here, I know somebody's already asked me beforehand, is Trent here? He is not here, but he very much wanted to be here.